All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to take a look at who made first team All Pro in the NFL. We'll also take a look at who made second team All Pro as well. So, starting off with offense, Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I mean, he's had a great year. Him and Josh Allen are the co favorites for MVP. Josh Allen made second team All Pro. And I mean, if you look at the numbers of both quarterbacks, so Lamar Jackson, he has, well, that's the postseason. He has 41 touchdowns to 4 picks, and he has over 4,000 yards passing. He has 4 rushing touchdowns. He has 1,900. That's Derrick Henry. He has 915 rushing yards as well on the season. And then you look at Josh Allen on the year, and Josh Allen has 28 touchdowns to 6 picks. He has 3,700 yards passing, and he has 12 rushing touchdowns. Now, you look at that and you say, well, I mean, Lamar beats him in the passing categories. Now, the 12 rushing touchdowns, and it's not like, it's a tush push with Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen is, I mean, that signature play against the Chiefs on that 4th down. It's touchdown runs like that. I mean, some of them, of course, are, QB sneaks, but, you also have runs like that as well. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I guess it's going to be very close. But sometimes, like, you'll have a scenario where, one quarterback will get first team All Pro and the other will get the MVP. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, Lamar has been, this year Lamar has been better than last year, and last year he won the MVP. But you know what? If Lamar ends up winning MVP, I'm not going to be upset about it because I think either of these guys deserves it. They have both been. I mean, Lamar has 45 total touchdowns, and Josh Allen has, including the rushing touchdowns, so he has 28. And then combined with the 12 rushing touchdowns, he has 40 total touchdowns on the year. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see who wins MVP. But it is, I guess when you look at the overall numbers, you would probably lean towards Lamar. But we'll see. We'll see what the voters decide. And then let's move on now to running back, since we spent a lot of time at quarterback here. Saquon Barkley. I mean, there's no surprise there. He has been unbelievable this year. Derrick Henry has also been great, but Saquon has had the better year. If it wasn't for Saquon, Derrick Henry would be first team All Pro as well. But Saquon, both these running backs in their new homes, they've delivered. They've made a difference. I think, in terms of who's been more impactful, I would say Saquon Barkley, because I don't know, like, Jalen Hurts has not played like an MVP this year. He's been solid, but, not great. I mean, who knows what would happen with the Eagles offensively if they didn't have Saquon. I mean, they probably would still be running the ball effectively, but Saquon is a difference maker. And Derrick Henry is a difference maker too. But I feel like even without Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, would still be putting up good numbers, and, the Ravens would still be in a good spot. But they're in a better spot with Derrick Henry. I think Saquon has been more impactful for the Eagles than Derrick Henry has for the Ravens. But again, they both, it's super close, but Saquon's had the better year. Patrick Ricard, fullback, first team All-Pro. Kyle Juszczyk for the Niners, he made second team All-Pro. Brock Bowers for the Raiders made it as the tight end for first team All-Pro. I mean, he was great his rookie season. He was one of the lone bright spots for the Raiders, and he's one of the cornerstone pieces that they're going to build on. So hopefully, they could surround him with more talent. They get the right quarterback in place. We'll see. The Raiders don't have a top 3 pick, so it's going to be interesting what they decide to do at the quarterback position for next year. I think Aiden O'Connell is okay, but he's not a franchise quarterback. But yeah, Brock Bowers, unbelievable rookie season for him. And then George Kittle made it for the second team All-Pro. He was solid as well. And then the top three receivers, first team All-Pros. I mean, no surprise here. Jamar Chase won the Triple Crown this year. Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are the top receivers in the game right now. One of them is still in the playoffs, and one of them didn't make it. And yeah, Jamar Chase. I mean, the Bengals, their offense was historic this year, and they didn't make the playoffs. It's a shame, but I mean, these three guys deserve it. They're the top receivers in the game. And then in terms of the offensive line, you had two Kansas City Chiefs. You had Joe Thuney, left guard, and Creed Humphrey, center. Tristan Wirfs from Tampa Bay, Penei Sewell from Detroit. You also have the right guard from Denver, Quinn Meinerz. I think that's how you pronounce it. So he also made it. So, hey, Denver Bronco making it first team All-Pro. That's not bad. And then defensively, you got Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson, I think, was the sack leader this year. So, yeah, you had the Triple Crown. You had Joe Burrow with the season he had, and you also had the NFL sack leader in Trey Hendrickson, and they didn't make the playoffs. But, yeah, I mean, again, it's the defense. The defense was a problem. That was the main problem. You also had Cam Hayward and Chris Jones, Zach Bond, who we saw intercept Jordan Love on Sunday, Fred Warner from San Francisco, Roquan Smith from the Ravens. You had Patrick Surtain, who had an unbelievable year, along with Derek Stingley as well. Marlon Humphrey. Safeties, you had Kirby Joseph and Xavier McKinney. I mean, what an acquisition for the Packers, getting him from the Giants, which the Giants didn't let him go, but that's what they decided to do. And then you look at special teams, Chris Boswell. I mean, he was great too. He did not miss really at all this year. If it wasn't for him, Brandon Aubrey would have been first team All-Pro. He was second team All-Pro. But yeah, Boswell had a great year. You had Jack Fox, the punter for the Lions. Kevontae Turpin for Dallas. He was good. Marvin Mims. Brendan Schooler for the Patriots. And then you also had the long snapper of the Vikings, Andrew DePola. And then we go to second team All-Pro. We talked about Josh Allen. We talked about Derrick Henry, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Terry McLaurin. I mean, what a year he had with Jaden Daniels, and they're still not done yet. CeeDee Lamb, he finished the year hurt, but hopefully next year we could see more of the CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he had good games this year, or last year, but I want to see the CeeDee Lamb from 2023 because he had an unbelievable year then. And also having Dak Prescott fully healthy too. A.J. Brown also made it as well. I feel like, Brown was good. Well, what were A.J. Brown's stats this year in the regular season? Because he also missed some games. A.J. Brown, nope, that's the postseason, because the postseason always pops up now. A.J. Brown, 67 receptions, 1,079 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. Yeah, he had a good year. So, yeah, those are the top receivers there. Then you had Jordan Mailata from Philly, Quinn Nelson from the Colts, Frank Ragnow from the Lions, Chris Lindstrom from Atlanta, Lane Johnson from Philadelphia. So, the two tackles from Philly, no surprise there. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league. And then we go to defense, T.J. Watt, Nick Bonito, Andrew Van Ginkel. They all made it for the edge rushers. Then you had Zach Allen from Denver, who's a monster. Jalen Carter as well, who's really developed for the Eagles on the interior there. A couple of Washington linebackers, Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner. They've been key pieces on that defense. And look, that was one of the reasons why I just didn't think the Commanders were going to be good. I just thought the defense was going to continue to be bad. But no, the defense, obviously he's not spectacular, but definitely better than what I would have expected. But also Jane Daniels was great too. That was a big part of it. Corners, you had Trent McDuffie from Kansas City and Christian Gonzalez from New England. Good to see him make it because, his rookie season, got hurt. He's a good player for them. You also had Derwin James from the Chargers, Kyle Hamilton from the Ravens, and then Budda Baker from the Cardinals. And I did mention Brandon Aubrey, so he made it. Logan Cook from Jacksonville made it. So that's a bright spot there for the Jaguars. Their punter made second team All Pro. You had Eckler as a kick returner this year. Khalif Raymond as a punt returner from the Lions. Eckler with the Commanders, of course. So yeah, some Commanders representation here. And then JT Gray, special teamer from the Saints, and also Jacksonville's long snapper as well. So yeah, that's what we got here for All Pros. I don't really have any major complaints with anything. Now we'll see what happens when we get to the NFL honors and who wins those awards. That'll be interesting. Right now, I mean, I've been of the mindset that Josh Allen's going to win MVP, but it's just when you look at the overall numbers, it's tough to argue that it shouldn't be Lamar Jackson. But we'll see. Offensive Player of the Year, I think, is going to be Saquon Barkley. But we'll see what happens. We got a few weeks before the NFL honors, so I think it's the Saturday before the Super Bowl. Actually, no. I forget when it usually is. Isn't it during the week? It's like on a Thursday. It's on a Thursday, maybe. I don't know. Well, when it comes up, we'll predict who wins what award, and we'll see how accurate we are. But that is pretty much it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well. Tomorrow, straight previews. We are previewing every single game between Saturday and Sunday, and also we will preview the national championship game as well between Notre Dame and Ohio State, because I will not be doing a show on Monday. So make sure to tune in for that tomorrow. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and I'll repost each individual segment on both YouTube channels. So if you missed anything, you don't have to go through the whole live stream. So yeah, until next time, I am Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.